Welcome to Tavoli, the two tables, for our second episode. Today we're going to make a little fried chicken. We're going to make some green beans, and we have a special guest at the end of our show to make a little dessert. Just always remember that no matter what you're making, especially if you are new to the kitchen, you can't make any mistakes in the sense of when you're making things, it's sometimes trial and error. Sometimes you're just trying to find your way. Until you try things, you don't know if they're going to work. So don't be afraid to try different things. And the worst thing that happens is that maybe it just doesn't turn out exactly the way you want. But nothing can be made wrong if it's made with love. So just keep that in mind as we're making these recipes. I am certainly not a professional cook, but being in the kitchen is one of the things that I really enjoy. So just have a good time. I think that's the main thing. So today we're going to make some fried chicken, and it's pretty easy to do. What I did ahead of time is I marinated our chicken. I took a whole chicken and I cut it up. We'll do that in a different episode just to show you how to do that. But I took the chicken, and what you normally would do is marinate it in buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you can create your own, and you just add a little lemon juice to a teaspoon or so to your regular milk, and it just kind of creates that consistency. So this chicken has been sitting for a few hours in that. I also add a little hot sauce. I usually use Frank's hot sauce, maybe even buffalo wing sauce. Put that in, mix that up, and then add the chicken. And that's been sitting for a few hours. Now the key with this is going to be to take the mixture, to put it into our flour mixture, which we'll create in a minute. We're going to bring it back then to the buttermilk, and then put it once again. So basically to wet and to dredge it twice, and then that's what's going to give it its extra crispy texture. So let's do this now. So now we're preparing our flour mixture, and it's just a matter of putting a bunch of spices in so that when we add our chicken, it kind of grabs onto that flavor, and it makes a nice crunchy exterior to our chicken. We're going to start with 5 tablespoons of salt and 4 tablespoons of pepper, ground pepper. Then we have 2 tablespoons of garlic. Use a little granulated garlic or even garlic powder, whatever you prefer. This is 1 tablespoon of, that's a little onion powder. We added actually a little extra because we like the flavor. It all depends. You can always tweak this to your own liking. You know, some people want a little bit more garlic or a little bit more onion. That's where you get to play with the spices. This is 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper. Okay, gonna add that. That's gonna add a little zip along with the Frank's hot sauce is going to certainly add a lot of spice to this, and then we'll mix that around just to create a nice integrated dredge. And you'll see that once the cayenne pepper is the darkest of all, and so once you see that integrated in, then you know then you're in pretty good shape. The way that this process will work is that we'll cook the entire chicken at the same time. So we start with the bigger pieces first. You put them in. We're aiming for 325 on the oil, and then once the temperature reaches 325, little by little, we'll put everything in, let it go for about 15 minutes, and then after that 15 minutes is done, everything should be ready. We're going to take the temperature of our chicken, and that once again should tell us how things are. But we'll start with, as we said, with the breasts, and we'll put them into the flour first. And I actually took the breasts and I split them here. And then from there, we go into our buttermilk mixture. then back. Okay, we'll do this same thing here, and then back. Key is if you just have to make sure that you have covered your entire piece. That is going to be the key. Okay, and from here now we've had the double dredging, and that our oil is up to 325, and we will add each piece, and then we'll put the bigger pieces in first, and then we'll start putting our smaller pieces in. Okay, we'll start adding our chicken to the oil. Put them in gingerly. Just always make sure that you try not to splatter. Get yourself there. Okay, more chicken. If it's nice and coated, then you'll end up with a nice crispy chicken. Okay, and then we will start with put the legs in. Okay, always a little flour. Then back to our buttermilk, and then into the flour once again. This makes a really nice chicken, and it's certainly nice, not that you want to have the stove on a hot summer day, but on maybe a day where it's a little bit cooler. This is certainly a nice treat for your family. Okay, in the meantime, we're going to get the water ready we're going to blanch our string beans just for 2 minutes, but we have the water getting ready, and we'll put a little salt in just to get that water ready, and we're going to start waiting for the chicken, and as that becomes ready to boil, we will be ready to put our string beans in. So just remember that around 325 is where we're trying to stay with the oil, and our cooking time will be around 15 minutes. We're trying to get the chicken up to about 180 degrees, and we'll take the temperature with our food thermometer. So one of the things, maybe just a general practice when you're starting to plan your meal, take a look at your recipe, figure out what ingredients you need. Make sure you've done your shopping ahead of time. But as you can see over here, I've laid out all of my ingredients. Obviously I have my bowl, the buttermilk. You see we have the cayenne pepper, little pepper, onion powder, garlic, the lemon juice, which I use to create this, and my jalapeno salt, but that's for my margarita for later. Don't tell anybody. So we're almost there, getting ready for our chicken, and we're moving along, and I think this looks like it's going to be pretty amazing. Nice and crispy. Make sure you drain your chicken. Okay, and always have a drying rack. Treat your chicken with love. You're good to your chicken will be good to you. That's the moral of this story. Pretty nice. Okay. Got some more. A couple of drumsticks. These are ready to go. Nice crispy chicken. Looks good enough to eat, as they say. Nice dark crust. All right, now we are ready to cook our green beans. We're gonna blanch them for 2 minutes, just watching the clock. Gonna dump them right in and give them about 2 minutes. That will allow the green beans to be a tiny bit softer when it comes time to saute them. Very simple saute, a little bit of olive oil, 3 cloves of garlic that will be chopped up, and we're going to go from here into, I got a little ice bath. I'm going to add a little bit more ice The ice bath is ready. It's going to go from here after 2 minutes. It will come into the ice bath, which stops it from cooking, and then that will allow us to add it right to the saute pan, and it will create a nice tender but still green, nice and green. They look nice and fresh, and yet they will have a nice flavor of garlic and olive oil. All right, so we've now started to put all of our green beans into our ice bath. That will stop the cooking immediately, and then we will get our other pan ready to do a little sauteing in garlic and oil, and then our meal is ready to go. So I've covered the bottom of the pan with some olive oil, put in about 3 cloves of garlic, letting that warm up nicely, and then I've drained the green beans, which had stopped cooking, and they will be ready to add into this. And then once they are the texture, some people like them a little more al dente or a little bit more crunchy than other people. So it will be up to your own taste. But once you've blanched them, at least you are assured of having a green bean that it's not going to be underdone. At least now you know that there will be, especially if you notice the nice green color, it kind of preserves that vibrant green, and it allows you to kind of maintain that outer crunch that you really want when it comes to a green bean. So they're going to cook for a few minutes, and then we're ready to go. Don't forget to season your string beans as they're cooking away. Then we'll bring those to their final cooking point, and then we are almost ready to plate everything and ready to go. And then we got a special surprise for dessert. Everyone, guess who I found in the kitchen? It's Mrs. Basil.
How are you?
The queen of the house. She's going to show us how she makes her world famous here on Earl Avenue, her Linzer tarts. So, what goes into your magic?
Okay, we start with 2 1/3 cups of flour. I like to use this kind of measuring cup. Gets it more exact for me.
Okay. I can help. Anytime I can help. That's why I'm here.
Yes. We make these every year around Christmas time when we have company. I think that's the only reason the company comes.
They're Father Tom's favorites, by the way.
Yes,
he loves these.
Okay, then we're going to go with 1 teaspoon of baking powder.
Fine, steady hand you have. Fine, steady hand.
Then we're going to go with 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Oh, that's already here.
It's already. Look at you. Very organized. This is impressive.
You're just going to mix that together with a spoon. Very easy. Just to kind of blend it. Then we're going to add 2 eggs. Going to have 1.5 sticks of butter, softened as room temperature as you can get it. Then 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon.
I saw that, by the way.
I'm a sloppy baker, what can I say?
It's okay.
And then 1/2 teaspoon of pure almond extract.
I squoze the almonds for you.
Thank you very much.
That's how we got that.
He's very good. He's a very good helper.
Okay,
I think, oh gosh.
Oh my
and
gosh.
1 cup of sugar.
What is going on?
That
would be heresy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. No sugar in your Linzer tarts. That would be a problem.
Oh my gosh. Let's talk about me on Earl Avenue.
That would be a problem.
Okay, do you want to mix?
Sure, I'll mix.
There you go.
I'll make myself useful. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah.
Just make sure it's blended very well.
What are we going to do with this once it is mixed?
Once it's mixed, what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of wax paper. You're going to shape it into a ball. You're going to put it in the wax paper, wrap it up, put it in the fridge for 1 to 2 hours because we're going to roll them out. So you're going to need to
Chill it.
Chill it very well.
So when you say chillax, is that what you mean? Sorry.
Okay, so after 1 to 2 hours, I take it out and my dough is nice and solid.
We took baby out of the fridge.
So what I do is I take a cutting board, I put a little flour, try and keep it from sticking. Then what I do is I'll take the dough in my hands, I'll warm it up just a little bit so that when you roll it out, you try to avoid it cracking on you. So just press it out a little, and what I do is I'll put a little flour on top and a little more flour on the rolling pin so that
when you start
it
rolling,
doesn't stick, right.
Oh, that's nice.
There you go. So you try and get it as thin as possible. That's going to happen. It's okay. Try and roll it out as thin as you can. You don't want it too thin. You don't want it too thick. Too thin they're going to burn. Too thick, they're going to be too doughy. And it's a pretty heavy cookie as it is, or at least mine are. Don't be afraid to keep putting flour on it because it will stick sometimes to the rolling pin and drive you a little crazy. That's perfect. That's pretty good. Okay, now this is my Linzer cutter right here. Bought it right up in Limbrook. What you want to do is for your first batch, you want to kind of just push the middle up a little bit, and then when you start to cut, you just press on the sides like this. So you're not pressing the middle piece down. See, and you're going to come out with just perfect.
We're just doing bottom now,
right, now we're just doing the bottoms. So here's my spatula. My assistant is going to get my cookie sheets. And what I did was I took 2 cookie sheets, I lined them with parchment paper. And then I just put them up with the spatula, put them right on. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say like 15 to 20 minutes. What you want to do is just check on them. And if you see them getting like the slightest bit of brown around the edges, take them out. Don't wait for the whole cookie to brown. They're not that type of cookie.
And you preheated your oven
yes,
too?
Yes, I preheated my oven to 350.
Okay.
Okay.
Those are beautiful.
They are beautiful. You did a good job rolling.
Now she'll let me have one.
He's a big help in the kitchen.
When I'm not causing trouble.
Yes, when you're not causing trouble, which is often.
Perfect. Oh, so close.
So close.
So close.
That's okay. I find the spatula helps get it off the cutting board. And don't be afraid to flour it in between because then it won't stick as much. Okay, so that's the bottoms. Should we start the tops?
Yeah.
Okay. We're doing the top, so you want to give this just a little slight push down. And then when you're doing the tops, make sure you include the middle piece. Okay?
The little hole.
The little hole.
So you get to see your jelly and your chocolate.
Yes, well, we didn't tell them about the chocolate.
Oh, I want to let it down. I ruined the surprise.
Oh,
nice
oops.
job, Alex. You've done it again.
All right.
That looks nice.
Yeah, he broke a little, but that's okay.
I'll put them back,
Put them back together. A Humpty Dumpty. Okay. Okay, so now you have your tops. While your cookies are now out of the oven and cooling, what you're going to do is we're going to heat up some and melt some chocolate, which is going to go in the middle of the cookie. Traditionally, Linzer tarts have fruit in the middle of the cookie, but I like to do my own take on it and do chocolate. So what I did was I took about half a bag of chocolate chips. Depending upon how much chocolate you want, you can use a full bag. It's entirely up to you. Then I add a little milk because it makes it a little looser and it makes it a little easier to work with. So what you're going to do is you're going to medium heat and you're just going to keep stirring and stirring until it melts. When it's all melted, then we're going to put it in between our cookies. Okay, so our chocolate is all nice and melted and it's starting to bubble a little. So we're going to turn the flame off and we're going to bring it over here. Put it on a nice little pot holder here and put this over to the side. My assistant, my very quiet assistant,
This is not like me.
is going to, here, let's move these down. This is going to be the finished rack. Move these down. So you're going to take a bottom cookie. Going to spoon a little bit of the chocolate. Again, depends on how much you want. Spoon it onto the cookie, and then you're going to spread it around with your dull knife or spreader.
Luigi Monetti. There it is. There it is. That looks nice.
Then you're going to take your top.
Is that enough chocolate, ma'am?
It's,
You want a little bit more? Okay, I'll get a
you
little bit
sure?
more.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I need it.
I was going to say that one's yours.
Oh, no, hold on.
The rest of us like a lot of chocolate.
Hold on. We gotta load that one up. That looks better.
Then you can take your top. I'm going to put it right on top.
Beautiful.
Now, you're going to do that with all the rest of the cookies. And then, you want to do a couple more?
Sure.
Okay.
So people do not know that you're originally from GC, the GC, Garden City,
Allie D from GC.
and we rescued you.
Yes, you did.
And brought you here to Limbrook. It showed you a nice life here in beautiful Limbrook.
Yes.
Good living.
Learned a lot from the Basil family.
This year is our 25th anniversary.
Yes.
She will be canonized for her time with me, which is very nice. Nice. Look at that. I do good work.
You do good. Very good work.
Very nice.
There you go.
Okay.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah?
Very, very serious question.
Yeah, what's your question?
If Jesus drove a car, what kind of car would he drive?
I don't know.
A Chrysler.
Oh, you rascal.
You're not the only one who can tell jokes here.
All right, well,
Mine
listen.
might be a little shorter and less winded.
Wow.
There you go.
You hear that?
Here's the other three.
Wow, as they say.
Yeah, so you did. You saved me from the GC.
Yeah, that's right. Beautiful Limbrook, the center of the universe. This is living over here.
It really
Good living. Look at this. Oh, you're pretty liberal with your chocolate. Pretty nice. Nice.
Okay.
So our yield is about 9 cookies.
Right.
Obviously, these Linzer tarts are not your feeble little Linzer tart. These are
You usually get
yours.
between 9 and 12, but some of them were cut a little thicker than others because the dough
right.
is not
That's
cooperating
right.
completely.
It's a nice cookie. Okay.
It's a nice cookie. Okay, one.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, and that's it.
And
look
now,
pretty.
now.
You're going to let the chocolate harden just a little bit before you put your jam on.
Okay.
Okay?
It's time for the jam.
Do the jam?
Well, you can do. You start, and then I'll take over.
Okay. So
Nice.
now your chocolate has congealed. So what we do now is we take about a little bit, like a teaspoonful of strawberry,
Nice.
raspberry, could be whatever you want. I prefer strawberry, so that's what I use. And you put it right in the middle of each cookie. And then the real treat, you want to take the powdered sugar?
Oh yeah.
The real treat comes, Mr. Basil is going to sprinkle them with powdered sugar.
Oh, this is the artistry, my friend. This is what the kids mean by my jam.
Yes,
This is my jam.
yes, and this is like what really brings the cookie together. Without this, I forgot to put the powdered sugar on. One year we had a Christmas party,
Oh my gosh.
and I thought my neighbor, did she give me a good tongue lashing?
Said they were knackered.
Yeah, said I need my powdered sugar.
I think it's the final piece that that makes it worthwhile. Look at that.
It is perfection.
We've done it again,
Yes, we have.
and no one got hurt.
No, not this time.
All right. Thank you, dear.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. One of my favorite stories is the story of Martha and Mary from the Gospels. If you recall, Martha and Mary were very close with Jesus, as well as their brother Lazarus. And the story of Martha and Mary really reminds us of the importance of what we should be doing and maybe what we should be focusing on. And it's from the Gospel according to Luke. As they continued their journey, he entered the village where a woman whose name was Martha welcomed him. And she had a sister named Mary who sat beside the Lord at his feet listening to him speak. Martha, burdened with much serving, came to him and said, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me by myself to do the serving? Tell her to help me." And the Lord said to her in reply, "Martha, Martha, you are so anxious and worried about many things. They need only be one thing. Martha has chosen the better part, and it will not be taken from her." The story of Martha and Mary talks about the importance of doing versus the importance of being. Very often we think that we're really not being productive unless we're busy. The time of quarantine and this time with family maybe really needs to remind us the importance of just being. Maybe just to cook a good meal, maybe just to sit and have a conversation, maybe just to stop and to think about what's going in life. Martha and Mary were two very, very different sisters, and they had a very different approach. How often do we spend time with Jesus and just be? From the Two Tables, this is Mr. Basil saying, have a great day and happy cooking.